Hey guys, welcome back to 22 Lima Romeo. I'm Jeremy, and we are out here at NCRGC to film the September 2024 NRL Monthly Course of Fire. All the targets that you see in today's video were all provided by Midwest Precision Shooting. If you were lucky enough to shoot the National Championship this last year, you got to see some of these targets take almost 60,000 rounds of ammunition from 270 shooters and not have a single target failure. Thanks to Midwest Precision Shooting, we have got a full NRL22 Monthly Course of Fire set and this awesome premium KOL rack. We've already got some targets set up. Let's get out there and shoot this thing.
First up for the September Course of Fire, we have Back to School. We have a 1.5 and 2 inch on a double hanger at 80 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, build a position on the 55-gallon barrel and engage the large target with 2 shots. Then move to a prone supported position and engage the small target with 2 shots. Repeat this sequence until 12 rounds have been fired or time expires.
Shooter, are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by. Engage.
Starting things off for September, it's Back to School. For my gear, I'll be using the Harris SBRN bipod with the Really Right Stuff Arca adapter and the Armageddon Gear Medium in heavy fill. I'll have my optic set at about 12 power. From a strategy on this stage, I wanted to set the bipod and the bag up so that they were useful in both the prone and the barrel positions. Having that bipod set up correctly is going to be a lifesaver for this stage. Now, something else is really going to give you an advantage is if you've done some practice with natural point of aim. Being able to orient that rifle correctly towards the target every time you build into position is going to save you a ton of time on this stage. And it's not like you need it. 5 positions isn't too terribly much. But these targets are not exactly generous for this range and this prop. So having stability in that platform, using your bipod and your rear bag, is going to give you what you're looking for to be successful here. You're going to be a lot more successful than I was on this stage if you pay attention to those subtle wind changes at your range. Unfortunately, during this stage, I didn't pay close enough attention, and it cost me a couple of impacts. That stage was a lot of fun. It really set the bar high for the rest of this Course of Fire, but let's get on into stage 2 and see what it has for us next.
$18 seconds left.
Drop 2. Have a great way. Let away.
Next up, we have Get to Class. We have a 1.5 and 2.5 on a double hanger at 85 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, build a position on the tank trap and engage one of the targets with 3 shots. Repeat this from 3 more unique positions. Positions available are the 3 tank trap tips and the center of the tank trap. Note, call out what target you intend to engage before the time starts. If you switch targets on the clock, you must announce the switch loud enough for the RO to hear you. And when starting out this stage, we are presented with a bit of a choice.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot the small, but
Ready?
don't let that influence what you choose to do when you shoot the
Going
stage.
for the small.
Going for the small.
Stand by. Engage.
I'll be using the Armageddon Gear Medium. That's it. I'll have my optic set at about 12 power, and I'll have my optic dialed for 85 yards. Starting things off, I want to build a position on the most stable place that I can, and that is the center of the tank trap. I'm attempting to get a good wind call here so that I can apply that to the other 3 positions that we need to shoot from that are going to be a little less stable. Now, when building into a tank trap tip, I always employ the same strategy. I square up on the target and the rifle, spread my legs out to the side parallel with the firing line, and reach up with my support hand and make contact with the shooting bag.
That hit.
So I'm going to repeat that exact same position for every single tip. I'm not going to make really any deviations to that game plan. I would also like to say that, in all honesty, I think it's better for confidence if you get 10 impacts out of 12 on the large target than to miss 10 out of 12 on the small. Something that I should have done while I was shooting this stage was kind of a common theme for this month's Course of Fire for me, and that's to pay closer attention to those subtle changes in the wind. Unfortunately, I was not paying close enough attention, and again, it cost me a couple of impacts. That was a challenging stage. It was fun, but it was challenging. Let's go ahead and get on to stage number 3.
Oh!
26 seconds left.
Drop 2. Womp, womp, womp. That's okay.
That's better than 4.
That's a small target, yo.
That's a small target.
That's a small
I don't know
target.
if I'm going to choose that one come match day.
Next up, we have riding the bus. We have a 1 and 1.5 on a double hanger at 60 yards, a 2 and 2.5 on a double hanger at 80 yards, and a 3-inch on a single hanger at 100. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, build a position on the tire stack and engage the targets near to far, large to small, with 1 shot each. After 5 rounds have been fired, switch to support side and repeat the same target engagement. Note, support side means opposite eye, shoulder, and hand.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Engage.
Next up, for riding the bus, I'm going to be using the Harris SBRM bipod with the Really Right Stuff ARCA adapter and the Armageddon Gear Medium in heavy fill. I'll have my optic set at about 12 power again. This is a difficult stage because the tires magnify every single movement that you make while you've got that 20-pound gun sitting on top of them. Any little adjustment that you make, running the bolt, changing targets, adjusting your parallax, all of those things ripple through that stack of tires. What makes sense to me is to try to shoot this stage effectively prone. But what you find out is, even though you've built a solid position with a bipod and a rear bag, those tires are still very, very unstable and cause that reticle to bounce all over the place. Things are going to get ratcheted up on the difficulty level once we switch to support side. Now, I have been doing a fair amount of practice from support side, so it doesn't feel nearly as awkward as it has in the past. But whether I'm strong side or support side, those stability issues are very evident on camera. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend shooting it this way, but I have a feeling this is how I'm going to shoot it on match day, because I feel like if I were just to use my rifle on a bag, I would be a whole lot less stable. So far, this Course of Fire has been deceptively challenging. Let's see what Stage 4 has in store for us.
23 seconds left.
Missed 1. No, missed 2.
Stage 4, we have Summer's Over. We have a 1 1/4 inch K-Whale rack at 40 yards, and a 2-inch on a single hanger at 70. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, build a position on the 5-gallon bucket and engage the K-Whale rack, large to small, with 1 shot each, and then the far target with 1 shot. Then move to the 2-gallon bucket and repeat the sequence. Note, this is the bonus point stage, where you earn 0.1 bonus point per second remaining on the clock.
Ready?
Ready.
Stand by. Engage.
Now I know here in northern Colorado we are definitely seeing some of the signs that summer is over. For my gear, I'll be using the Armageddon Gear Medium in heavy fill and the Weebad strapless behemoth. I'll have my optics set at about 15 power for this stage. Building into this first position on the 5-gallon bucket, I've got to get kind of in an uncomfortable, folded up position, but I learned something from Jason Nedved while watching his videos, where he uses his right knee as rear support for the stock of the rifle.
Hello, magazine. Oh, she's rim locked. It's alright. See if I'll get its feed now. There we go.
And when I put that into practice, I noticed that it was a solid way to build into a position on a bucket. Now, when building into the position on the 2-gallon bucket, I decided that I was going to shoot this thing prone instead of trying to do more shooter's yoga. Something that's awesome about these KYL racks from Midwest Precision Shooting is you don't have to wait for these things to spin around and around and around. You hit them, they go back, they come back down, and they stop, which is really going to save us time while we're shooting KYL racks going forward. But let's get on to stage 5 and see what that one has for us.
37 seconds.
Man, I made up some time there.
Wrapping up this month's Course of Fire, we have the Back to School Struggle. We have a 1-inch at 50, a 2.5 at 87, and a 3-inch at 100. We're going to start standing, rifle at the high ready and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, build a position on the ladder and engage the targets near to far with 1 shot each. Move to a new rung and engage far to near. Repeat this sequence from 2 more different rungs. If you cannot safely engage targets from the 4th or 5th rung, you may repeat a rung, but not the rung most previously used. Restrictions. No rung may be repeated, unless you're not tall enough.
Ready?
Yep.
Stand by. Engage.
Wrapping up this month's Course of Fire, something that I haven't experienced in a long time, and that's the back to school struggle. For my gear, I'll be using the Armageddon Gear Medium, and for my rear bag, I'll be using the Weebad Strapless Behemoth. I'll have my optic set at about 12 power, and I'll be using holdovers throughout this stage. For my strategy on this one, I want to start from the bottom rung, because that's where I'm going to be able to shoot prone, and that's where I'm going to be most stable to make sure that I've got a decent wind call to finish out this stage. Now, I'm paying close attention to where these bullets are impacting, and I'm making adjustments on the fly. However, the wind had almost died by this time in the afternoon, so I didn't have much wind adjustments to make. When I switch to rung number 2, I'm going to use my right knee, just like on the previous stage, as rear support for the stock, and I'm going to reach up over the top of the optic with my thumb and forefinger and pinch that rail of the ladder and press down into the optic, seating the stock down into the bag and making this position very, very stable. I'm going to repeat that from rungs 3 and 4, and I want to show you with the camera exactly how I'm going about that. Something else to note during this stage is how rapidly I'm adjusting my parallax between targets. This stage is parallax sensitive because the targets are so far apart. If you don't adjust your parallax, you're going to be shooting at a fuzzy target. And shooting at a fuzzy target means you may not get a wind call, or you may not see where the bullet actually impacts that target. And that could put you at a serious disadvantage if you're trying to win the match. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this was one of the easier stages for this month's Course of Fire. There's still a lot going on for this stage as far as the target sequence, but these mental games are going to make us sharp, and I think they belong in this sport. I had a really good time shooting this month's Course of Fire.
Faster yet.
I hope you did too.
All right, guys. Well, that is a wrap for the September 2024 NRL22 Monthly Course of Fire. Thank you, East Baugh, from one of the biggest NRL22 clubs in the country, and that is Big Salty in Salt Lake City, Utah. Easton, you did a heck of a job. That was a very challenging Course of Fire, and I really think this thing is going to push some of the most experienced shooters in the league to clean. So, big shout out to you, young man. You did a great job. Today's targets, if you are interested in those, please reach out to Justin Carbone or Ruth Susi. They are the inventors of that target system, and I believe that that is kind of the new gold standard for rimfire targets. You can visit MidwestPrecisionShooting.com or reach out to Justin or Ruth on Facebook and let them know that you'd like to purchase a set of these targets. They are premium, they are fantastic, and I highly recommend them. We're going to pack up our stuff and get out of here, but we really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you do us a huge favor, reach down there and click that like button. We'd really appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you have a shooting buddy who's showing some interest in this stuff, please share the video with them. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to see you guys out on the range. Way faster. All right. I did not press record on that one, though. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Did you press record on the trigger cam? Oh, for real?
For real.
We are.
Oh, just up the left again. Oh!
Oh, dude. You're gonna have
Oh,
to redo
man.
this one.
Drop 4. That sucks.
Redo.
Nah,
Redo.
it's okay. Go big or go home.
It's only 2 minutes. You could just redo it.
Huh?
It's only 2 minutes. You could just redo it real quick.
Was on the top left.
I know, but it's all the paint's already shut off of it.
You're on the target, dude. You're doing awesome.
So you can be like, obviously I had to do a redo of this stage.
Yes.
All right.
Not usually with
4.
red
You
fires.
can't show one with a drop.
We can do a redo.
4.
We can do a redo.
You can even put a note. My wife forced me.
So get your set today and start hosting some.
Brick wall.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't use those words in your blooper.
I can't use the ums and the ands and
Or curse words.
or the curse
We're
word.
gonna start you a swear jar.
Oh no.